Harnessing Energy, the Essence of Living Things. Module 1, Introduction.
Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to this very interesting about metabolism, or about the ways the living organisms harness the energy. Actually, if we are talking about the living things, harnessing the energy, the ways to acquire the energy from the food is one of the most fundamental features of living things. And this is what we will be discussing and exploring in the 6 modules of this course. So, if you see the world around you, you can easily categorize the world into 2 major categories. On one hand, there are the things which cannot move, which cannot grow, which don't reproduce, which doesn't show any change. They are known as the non-living things. For instance, this mountain, you see, this is a non-living thing. Similarly, the snow is a non-living thing. The sand is a non-living thing. Iron is a non-living thing. Sodium chloride is a non-living thing, and so on and so forth. But in contrast to this, then there are bacteria, there are earthworms, there are different sort of insects belonging to, or let's say, and then there are fish, different types of fish. There are mammals like lemur. There are birds, the birds which can fly. There are cats which can hunt, and of course there are big cats too. All these things are the living things. They can move, they can reproduce. All these things are the living things. But if I ask you, what feature the living things have because of which we say that these are the living things? Yes, one of the most important, one of the most well-known feature is, of course, the reproduction. The living things can reproduce and can then transfer their material, genetic material, to the next generations. Similarly, of course, the living things can move from one area to the other. Living things can also grow. Plants grow, their stems move upward, their roots move downward. Similarly, when you are a young, very little kid, your size was very small, and gradually your size or your height increased with the passage of time. So these are all the features of living things. But what if I ask you to name me one feature which is exclusively for the living things, without which we cannot define life, without which even these features like reproduction, like movement, like growth, this was even not possible? Yes, we can eat the food. It's whether chimpanzee, whether squirrels, whether you and me, we all eat the food. But why do we eat the food? We don't eat the food just because it's tasty. We eat the food because we want to get energy from it. Why we want to get energy? We want to get energy from it because this is the energy because of which we are doing whatever we are doing. Even I am talking now my tongue is moving, my whole machinery which is involved in making the sound is moving, and it all requires energy. Even my thinking process, because of which I am saying what I am saying, is because of the energy. So harnessing the energy, acquiring the energy from the food is the major feature, most important feature of living things. Another name of this harnessing of energy is the metabolism. We take our food, and the most intricate and sophisticated machinery of our cell convert that food into chemical energy, or get chemical energy from that food. Not only chemical energy we get from that food, also the major building blocks of our body are also obtained from that food. So Now it must be very clear to you what we will be covering in our next 5 lectures or modules of this course. We will be talking about the major energy carrying molecules because of which energy is readily available. We will be talking about the plants also. It's not only the carbohydrates or proteins which are present in us. Actually, plants play a very major role in it, and we will be talking about it in detail. Then we will be talking about the central role of glucose metabolism. We will tell why carbohydrate metabolism is at the center of it. Acts as a hub for all the other metabolic pathways. We will also talk about how the emergence of oxygen and hence oxidative phosphorylation led to absolute revolution in the ways the living things can acquire energy. And finally, we will also discuss the ways in which living things can acquire energy not only from the organic sources but also from the inorganic sources, and where we will be talking about very far-reaching implications of this aspect of metabolism. So stay tuned. It's not only going to be very informative course for you, but also you will learn a lot about your bodies, about yourselves, and about the living things around you. Thank you.